Hey everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation. I'm always a sucker for a good record fair, and on the weekend was the first Sydney record fair for over a year. The record fair scene had been severely inhibited by COVID restrictions, and it was just great to get back and do a bit of a vinyl dig. Backdrop behind me is a typical snapshot photo of the Sydney Record Fair, and today I'm going to share some record finds. So, starting off with 1986 Voivod Killing Technology. This is a bit of a steal. It's in really good nick. It's on the Noise label, nice pressing, nice shiny gloss, and I picked it up for about $50. And anyone who is able to get a 1980s speed independent metal on the Music for Nations or Megaforce or Noise label, that's a steal. And $50, I thought $50 Aussie was really reasonable. There you go. That's the nicely done lyric sheets. And like a lot of those indie labels, they had on the inner sleeve albums on that particular label. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. But that was one of my favorite pickups of the record fair. Another good one that I picked up was Judas Priest, Rock a Roller. So this is their first album. I'm familiar with the Judas Priest catalogue. Obviously, I'm a fan. Love the 70s, love the 80s. But I've always avoided this album. I've only just recently started to listen to it. It's a little proggy, a little bit stoner. Sounds a little bit like the early Alice Cooper band. Rob Halford, on vocals. It's a band finding its way, but it's a really interesting album, and I like a lot of the songs. And this is on the Milan label, first pressing, nice shiny gloss. I'm really happy. It's pretty good, and I got that for a good price as well, and I'm looking forward to playing that and giving that a bit of a rap. So that's Judas Priest, Rock and Roller. Saxon Strong Arm of the Law. This is one of their best albums. They were at the vanguard of the new wave of British heavy metal, and this is one of their finest albums. It's got the hits Strong Arm of the Law, 20,000 Feet, Heavy Metal Thunder. This album's in good nick. It's got a nice glossy cover, and then you got all the pictures of life on the road. And this is on the Kerr Records label. And again, not nice, seems to be in good nick. And I picked that up for 10 Aussie dollars. So it was in the bargain bin, but that was a bit of a gem, and I'm glad I rescued it. Next album, Quiet Riot QR3. This is a little bit disappointing. So Quiet Riot, to be frank, we're on a bit of a downward spiral. This is a very synth-laden or synth-dripping album. Very poppy, very commercial. Doesn't have a lot of the rock riffage of those first two albums. Not a lot of grunt. And way too commercial for my taste. It's getting into the foreigner territory. Not that foreigner is a bad thing, but in the wheelhouse of Quiet Riot, not really that great. I've played this once. I'll give it another rap over the weekend, but my initial views, Quiet Riot QR3, were pretty fair to middling. This one is And the Little Girls Understand by The Knack. This was the sequel to Get the Knack. A little uneven, but it's got some great power pop songs. Baby Talks Dirty is really more or less a sequel to My Sharona. It picks up on the similar themes. It has the similar sort of sonic sound of Get the Knack. It flopped, didn't do so well. But I've got this on CD, and I'm glad that I've got this on album. I think I'm really looking forward to playing that. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of the knack. There you go. Now we get to a little bit of a curio, a little bit specialised. Night Moves concert number 2. So in the late 70s and early 80s on Australian TV, there used to be a show called Night Moves, where you'd have bands of the day playing in a gig setting or a concert setting, and a show would be devoted to that particular artist in general. And this is the best of those concerts. So it has a lot of the bands that were huge in the day, Australian bands as Skyhooks, Joe Joseph and the Falcons, and the Sports. So that's Night Moves number 2. And I picked that up for a reasonable price, 15 Aussie dollars, and give that a bit of a wrap in a day or so. Now, my favourite purchase of the whole Glebe record fair was a bit of a find, and this is Concert of the Decade. So in 1979, they had a free concert. I think it was a radio station. It may have been 2SM, held a concert that showcased all the who's who of Australian rock in 1979 and the previous decade. So you had artists like Cheetah, John English, Ted Murray Gang, Hush, Sherbet, Skyhooks, Split Ends, and Stevie Wright. Now, Stevie Wright, probably the highlight of this whole concert, went through a bit of a rough patch. Stevie Wright was the ex-lead singer of the Easy Beats, had a huge hit, Evie, part 1, 2, and 3, part of the Vander and Young crew, and his rendition on this concert is played to this very day on Australian Music TV, and it was regarded as a little bit of a comeback performance for him. So there you go. What a fantastic sight to see bands in front of the Opera House and a crowd in 1979. Now, to make this even more special for me in purchasing this is it was on the Mushroom label, and it's a first pressing, and it looks bloody awesome. It's almost in near mint condition. And to get a record from 1979, all the versions of this album I've seen have been sort of very good or just really tatty, and to see something that's doesn't look like it's been played much and it's in good nick and it's really glossy, and I played played it right through, it sounds fantastic. So the Concert of the Decade, I think it's been out on CD, definitely worth investigating, and it's basically a snapshot of Australian rock music in 1979. So there you have it. Tell me your latest picks. What did you pick up on the weekend? If you like the records that I've chosen or any other recommendations, please subscribe to Rock Daydream Nation. We've got plenty of content coming up. We've got the Hard Rock Supergroup number 2 that's coming up in a couple of days, and look, a stack of stuff, all things rock. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Cheers.